You are now tuned in to the Brown Spade. So, the question is Donald Trump going to jail? I don't think so. The reason why I'm covering this because right now he just landed in Fulton County. Fulton County Atlanta is in Fulton County. I'm from Atlanta, so I wanted to put my 2 cents in it. I personally don't think he's going to jail. He and 19 defendants are being charged with racketeering and also 5 additional charges with the scheme of trying to overturn the 2020 election. My personal opinion, I just really feel like the Democratic Party is trying to stop him from being reelected because he's trying to run for president again. But let me say this: I have no dog in the fight at all. I live here in the Dominican Republic. I look at the Democratic Party and the Republican Party like a quarter. You have heads, you have tails. If you flip it over, regardless of where it lands, heads or tails, it's still a quarter. So that's how I look at both of those parties. People all excited, making videos about it. It's just a big fiasco. I just think it's a bunch of BS, honestly. So now you got protesters are there. They love this man. They love this man. They idolize this man. They worship this man. In their eyes, he can do no wrong. But again, like I said, it doesn't matter to me. I have no dog in the fight. I would love to hear your opinion on what you think about this. I think this is like the fourth city that he's been indicted in. And I just think this is all a ploy so this man will be disqualified from running for the next election. I'm just sitting back looking. I'm on the sidelines. I'm just looking, and I'm just saying, look at all this money is being spent and wasted in the court system for these allegations. Now, why do I say that he's not going to get or not going to be incarcerated? One, he's a former president of the United States of America. Former presidents, once when they step down, they're still protected by the U.S. government for the rest of their lives. So for people to think that he's going to be in jail or prison with regular inmates walking around in an orange jumpsuit is ludicrous to me. It makes no sense to me. It never happened, and I don't think it will happen. Let's say he did, if they do find him guilty. In my humble opinion, I think the worst case scenario, this man will get an ankle monitor and still be living in his mansion. We have to understand that a person of his class, he's one of the elites of the elites. And by him being former president, which give him more power, more authority, it's not going down like that. However, we poor people think that it's going to go down like that, but it's not. It's not. He's not physically going into any prison, jail cell, whatever you want to call it. He's not. It's not going to happen. And if so, I will be the first to come back and shoot a video and say, hey, I was wrong. But I digress. I digress. I would love to hear your opinion on this. For those who haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you haven't pressed the like button, please hit that thumbs up. It costs you nothing. It costs you absolutely nothing. I'm sitting here at my buddy's cigar shop, having a cigar, sipping on some cold ones, just relaxing, doing what I do. I don't see this going anywhere. I just see this just slowing up the process and trying to disqualify a person from running for the presidency. Again, I have no dog in the fight, but I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear your comments, and I will write you in a timely fashion when I find time. I hope you enjoy this video.
The focal point of this case is soon going to be the Fulton County Jail on Rice Street.
Yes, so that is where former president will be formally processed. His mugshot is expected to be taken. And that's also where we find 11 Alive's Ron Jones. He is outside of the jail with more on what that scene looks like out there. And I can see it looks like some demonstrators behind you there, Ron.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks out here, but let me tell you something. This is what I love about our country, being a veteran and also a former first responder with the police department, is the freedom of speech, the freedom to protest. This is something you're not going to see in Russia for sure. You're not going to see it in China, and you're not going to see it in Iran. There are passionate protesters here in front of the Fulton County Jail from both sides of the aisle, and we have some video of that to give you a better perspective, because you can't really see what's happening here. There have been some flashes of confrontations where it becomes pretty intense, pretty dicey, foul language, insults from both sides. But the good news here is no violence at all, and that's what we love about that. Hundreds of protesters are now meshed in with the media, so there's a lot of folks here compressed in this area. And when you bring out more protesters, which more than likely we're going to see more as we get closer to the former president showing up here at the Fulton County Jail, when you have protesters and politics, it can cause problems, especially when it comes to security. If you look over my shoulder here, you can see that there are some barriers. We have been told anybody who steps on the other side of that barrier, whether it's a protester or the media, they're going to be arrested because the deputies are standing by. Now, that is a big issue, is security. 11 Alive's Joe Ripley is standing by to talk a little bit more about what's going to take place as more people show up here in front of the jail. Joe?
For the most part, here on the Jefferson Street side of the Fulton County Jail, it's quiet for the most part at the moment. We do expect that could change, especially as former President Trump is just a couple of hours or so away from making his way from the Atlanta airport here to the Fulton County Jail to surrender himself on those charges tied to Georgia's 2020 election. We also understand the jail is set to go under a hard lockdown at that time. No one in, no one out. Here on the Jefferson Street side, we've noticed an uptick, certainly a heightened sense of security and law enforcement compared to earlier in the week. Atlanta Police, Fulton County Sheriff's Office, Georgia State Patrol, and many others all helping to direct traffic and maintain the secure perimeter around the jail. Police have shut down Jefferson Street to car traffic between Marietta Boulevard and Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard. Retired Secret Service agent Raymore expects interstates and roads to also shut down as that presidential motorcade makes its way here. And air traffic as well will also be at a standstill around the jail once Trump does arrive.
When former President Trump comes into Atlanta to go be processed, the motorcade route that he's going to come into is going to be secured. When he arrives at the jail, there will be no one, no prisoners, anybody like that in close proximity to him.
And two defendants, including former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, surrendered here at the Fulton County Jail earlier today. Bonding out did Meadows do, and there are still 8 more defendants, including the former president himself, still have the opportunity to turn themselves in by the deadline of tomorrow at noon. We do expect the president, though, in a couple of hours from now.